Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your monthly angel card reading for May 2018, here from the beautiful, sunny, naturistic scene here of Ashland, Oregon, to where I recently moved. So in this week, or in this month's reading, we're going to be using the Syrian Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha for the main message for everyone. And your special message card, depending on your stone of choice this month, is going to be coming from the Archangel Divination deck, which is by Doreen Virtue. So in a moment we're going to be talking about the universal and astrological energies for the month of May, but first let's take a look at your stones of choice. Your first stone of choice this month is a beautiful selenite heart. Now the selenite is a high vibrational stone. It helps you to get in touch with your angels and guides and those of the highest realm, and you can see it has this beautiful milky white, almost iridescent and opaque kind of color or energy to it. So it actually brings a lot of clarity, and it actually helps to open up the crown chakra to clear cognizance or clear knowing and understanding of higher information and wisdom. It actually helps you to get in touch with past lives and future lives as well. So again, it's got this heart energy to it with this particular shape of a stone, so we're dealing with that unconditional love of the highest nature. Your second stone of choice is a rose quartz. Now this is a double terminated rose quartz. Double terminated meaning it has points on both sides, and the points on both sides helps the energy to kind of flow out from both directions. So it's kind of emanating in different directions through time and space. Now rose quartz deals with the heart chakra, so it helps to heal relationship matters, but also it helps to heal your sense of self and self-worth. So this is about unconditional love as well. It's maybe of a more earthly nature than the selenite heart was, but still in all it helps us to connect with that divine feminine energy, that nurturing, loving, healing, peaceful energy. And that, again, that double terminated point here, helps it to flow out in different directions at the same time. All right, the last stone of choice is also somewhat of a double terminated crystal. This is a clear quartz crystal. And I say somewhat because it's got one point on one side, but it actually has 2 points on the other side, which is very unusual. It's just a little, a little kind of an indentation there on this side of the point. So again, 2 points on that side and only one on this side. And the clear quartz crystal is a magnifier of energy. Again, it deals with crown chakra energy and higher guidance and wisdom. Again, it intensifies and magnifies whatever you set it next to or whatever you put into it, basically. You could actually, what do I want to say, charge this crystal. You can program, that's the word I'm looking for. You could actually program clear quartz to whatever intention or whatever energy that you would like it to. So in other words, if you want your clear quartz to be about career, you can program it to assist in the success of your career. If you want to program the clear quartz to assist in relationship matters, you can do that. This one actually also is coated with information, as it's got a lot of ridges on it. So that encoding of information is of other times and spaces, again, the higher dimensions, almost like, what do I want to say, like the old discs for the computer used to be, encoded with information. So it's like a download of higher vibrational energies here. All wonderful stones of choice, but again, we have the selenite heart, the double terminated rose quartz, and the double one side and pointed side on the other clear quartz crystal. So go with your intuition, go with what feels right, in your heart as far as choosing your stone of choice. Now let's go ahead and talk about the vibration for the month of May. The numerology vibration for the month of May actually equals 16, and we get that because we know that 2018 is an 11 universal year. 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8 equals 11. So we're in a master number vibration year for the whole year of 2018, and this is for all of humanity. And then we take that 11 master number vibration, we add it to the month of May, which May is the 5th month, and that means we get the number 16. 16 is a karmic number. 16 is about huge transformation and change. It's about radical shifts in our reality. And if we think about what the 16th Major Arcana is in the tarot deck, this helps to give us more of an idea of what this is all about. The 16th Major Arcana is actually the Tower card. This one comes from the Syrian Starseed Tarot. And you can see, if you can see it in this lighting out here that I'm sitting in, this is an actual tower, and this tower is on fire. It's on fire probably because of the lightning bolts that come down and strike it. There's actually a person here that's falling out of the building. Now this sounds rather scary. And, you know, you have to realize that the tarot is an ancient form of divination, and it is, you know, telling us kind of a story through the Major Arcana, okay? Last month, in the month of April, we were at the 15th Major Arcana, which was the Devil card. Now that sounds scary too, but the Devil of last month was about our shadow side, the shadow of our ego. Now as we move into the Tower card energy for the month of May, we're talking again about radical shifts, unexpected redirections, and that comes with the symbology of the lightning bolt. The lightning bolt kind of just comes down, and all of a sudden, you know, it causes some of us a little fright. You know, if you think about thunderstorms and lightning, some people, you know, have a fear of that lightning energy, especially our pets. You know, our pets kind of get scared of that boom of the thunder and the flash of the lightning, and this is again symbolic of unexpected redirections, things that are, you know, not necessarily seen by us coming. So again, the structure, the tower here, symbolizes the structures in our life. Maybe the structures are our job or where we're living. You know, those all have a solid foundation to them. This tower being struck by lightning is again symbolic of things that are going to radically shift and change in our lives in this month of May. Now fire is purifying. Again, in this Tower card symbology, it looks like it's rather scary. The tower is on fire. People are falling out of it. But the fire energy can be very purifying and transformative, okay? And so whatever's happening this month, and we're going to get into the astrology of the month, and maybe that will help us to gain some clarity about this. The fire is a purifying element. It's transformative. It's creative. It's actually spiritual. But again, and the fire is coming because of the lightning bolt striking, the lightning is kind of that wake-up call, so to speak. So there's something that's happening this month that's going to be like a wake-up call to humanity, something that's going to cause transformation and change, something that's going to dissipate, if you will, the structures that we've created in our lives, okay? Again, on a humanity level, on a worldwide level, there's something huge that's going to shift and change for us. And that's so that we can rebuild something. With the tower on fire and the tower falling down, you know, the tower being hit by lightning, it's symbolic of something that does need to change. It's like, you know, we've lived in the status quo of how the world has been operating for too long. And this is going to be a radical and sudden shift of energy, and therefore it may bring some fears that come up here, some you know, struggles or challenges or fear energy as indicated by the tower, but it's so that we can restructure something as a humanity, as a planet, as an earth. So there's something in our lives, and it can be on a personal level, but again, this is also on a global level as far as there needs to be some sort of restructuring. And unless we have a radical shift and a sudden unexpected redirection or change, then we get too complacent and we get too comfortable in how the energies are. Even if we know that energies or people or systems or whatever it is, governments are disempowering, even though we may know that, it still causes a fear reaction when there's some sort of sudden shift and change. Okay, so again, this is just the vibration of the month. We haven't quite gotten to what our angels and guides have to say yet about the month of May, but let's talk now a little bit about the astrology, and I'm just going to talk about the highlights for the month, otherwise this video would be way too long. But I want to actually say that actually we start out on the 7th of May. And even though this isn't a long-lasting transit, I feel like it's important because here we have the planet Mercury, which rules our thoughts and our ideas and how we communicate. And it's going to be in a challenging aspect to Pluto. And Pluto is about power and control and transformation and change. You know, we're talking about big changes. That's why I feel like we need to mention this particular transit. So you're going to feel this on the 6th as well as the 7th of May. And this is going to cause us to perhaps have some power and control types of situations or circumstances, communications with others where there's maybe a power struggle. And this is also about our own thoughts, the way we think, also kind of going through this little bit of a power struggle kind of thing. So we're transforming the way we think or perceive something here with this transit. Also on the same day or same time period there, we have Venus, which is the divine feminine, rules relationships, rules money. She's challenging Neptune as well. So there's some sort of confusion or illusion kind of thing going on. Again, there's this dissipation of energy with Neptune that happens, so that could be dissipating our finances in some way or dissipating relationship matters in some way. This might, sorry, bugs out here, but this might be, again, bringing in something confusing with the divine feminine energy, or like not being able to fully get a grasp somehow. And again, this is short-lived. It's only going to last for a day or two. Now, also on the 12th, Mercury, which squared Pluto or challenged Pluto on the 6th and the 7th, is now connecting with Uranus on the 13th. And again, I feel like this is important as well because this happens at the last degree of Aries. Uranus is at the last degree of Aries. Uranus is about sudden and unexpected redirections. It's about the strange and unusual. Uranus is the rebel energy. It's about surprises, things that kind of happen in a surprising manner that we're not expecting. With Uranus, you expect the unexpected. With it being at the last degree of Aries, it's heightening this energy of this rebellion energy as it's in that last degree of Aries. And now Mercury connects with Uranus in that last degree of Aries. So again, Mercury, communications, thoughts, ideas. This can be very inspirational and creative, but it can also bring about communications with others that are not filtered. You know, people are just blurting things out and they're not filtering things. And so it can bring some sudden, unexpected communications with other people. Now on the same day, the 13th, that this happens, Mercury then, because Mercury moves so fast, moves out of Aries and into the sign of Taurus. So Mercury is going to become a lot more grounded here, a lot more thoughtful, a lot more practical, and focused more on money and personal resources, which is ruled by Taurus. Then on the 15th, we have a new moon in Taurus. Okay, so the new moon happens at 24 degrees Taurus. And, you know, Taurus is about, again, practicality, being grounded, focusing on money, finances, personal resources. It's about hard work. You know, it's about organization, structure, all of these things that are of an earthly nature because Taurus is an earth sign. Now, last month, we had that new moon in Aries. Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, new beginnings. We were planting new seeds last month. And so now with this new moon in Taurus, we're starting to tend the garden, so to speak. We're taking care of the garden, the seeds that we planted last month. We're watering them, we're nurturing them. That's Taurus energy as well. So we need to now nurture those seeds that we planted within the last 4 weeks and let them start to sprout, let them start to grow a little bit, okay? But we have to have patience through that process. Taurus is a sign where we really have to have this idea of patience, okay? Now also on the 15th, same day as the new moon in Taurus, this is probably the most important thing that happens all month. Uranus goes into Taurus, okay? Now Uranus stays in a sign for 7 years. So as it's going into Taurus, it's going to be there for about 7 years now, just as it was in Aries for about 7 years. So this is a big shift. This is a big deal. Uranus, again, being the rebel energy. As it was in Aries, it was rebelling against, you know, this energy, this kind of warrior energy. You know, Aries is a warrior kind of energy. And Uranus being the rebel, it was really kind of initiating a lot of new beginnings on the planet. Now with Uranus going into Taurus, again, what does Taurus rule? Because as this planet shifts into Taurus, it's going to intensify the energies as it's just moving in there. So you're going to see radical shifts with Taurian energy, radical shifts with maybe money, finances, personal resources. Okay, there may be something that's going on here, because then the next day on the 16th, Mars makes a sign shift as well. And Mars is moving out of Capricorn, which was much more kind of stable and status quo. Mars is moving into Aquarius on the 16th, the day after Uranus moves into Taurus. And that's significant because Taurus and Uranus, or excuse me, Taurus and Aquarius energy challenge one another. They're creating a square aspect, meaning that as Mars moves into Aquarius, it's going to then challenge or square Uranus, which has just moved into Taurus. So this is a big deal. There's something huge that's going to happen around mid-month here on the planet globally with humanity, and again, personally, perhaps in your own lives. Uranus is that, again, that rebel energy. Mars is the warrior energy. Mars is going into the sign that Uranus rules naturally in the zodiac, Aquarius, okay? So there's going to be some huge unexpected something that happens, and maybe several somethings. You know, there's going to be, again, some energy that's unpredictable. That's a really good word. There's going to be some unpredictable transpirings here, unpredictable circumstances that happens around mid-month with these two things. With Mars going into Aquarius and Uranus going into Taurus, and them challenging or squaring one another. On the 19th, Venus makes a sign shift out of Gemini and into the sign of Cancer. Venus rules relationships, associations, the divine feminine, as well as money and finances. As she moves into Cancer for the next few weeks, she's going to be much more focused on home and family and the divine feminine, because Cancer is a feminine sign, a nurturing sign, a loving sign. So this is going to really, it's got this very kind of, again, feminine, divine feminine quality. On the 20th, the sun moves into Gemini for the next month, which, you know, brings in this kind of up and down and unpredictable, logical kind of energy, as Gemini is. Gemini is about wearing many hats and doing many things at the same time, so there's going to be a busyness that happens. You know, energies are going to be much more busy from the 20th on through the rest of the month with that Gemini energy in place. The next thing we want to talk about is actually, I think, the full moon in Sagittarius on the 29th. Okay, so that's the next important thing that we have going on here. The full moon is an intensification of energies. You know, as the moon, from the new moon cycle on the 15th, as the moon starts to wax and grow and get bigger and bigger, as it approaches that full moon energy, it brings something to a culmination. You know, it intensifies something, which is why we want to put our intentions out during those 2 weeks. From the new moon to the full moon, we're letting things grow. We're letting things expand as the full moon is expanding. So Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius is about inspiration, and it's about our belief systems, and it's very creative and fiery and passionate. So with this full moon in Sagittarius, those are the kinds of things, the kinds of intentions that you want to put out there. Things to do with changing your belief systems, looking at things from different perspectives, being creative, being passionate, following your passion, being inspiring to other people, being the teacher. Sagittarius rules teaching, okay? Teaching other people and sharing information. So that full moon at 8 degrees of Sagittarius encompasses all of those things. Also on the 29th, the same day as the full moon in Sagittarius, Mercury, the planet of thoughts, ideas, and communications, moves into one of its home signs of Gemini. So that's just going to, again, with the sun in Gemini on the 20th, Mercury in Gemini on the 29th, going to really ramp up that communication, opportunistic, logical, idea-oriented, researching information, gathering information kind of energy. And again, networking and communication comes more to the forefront with that. That's more, you know, Gemini is more of a social sign. It's an air sign. So it deals all with being social and using all forms of ideas and communications. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what our angels and guides gave us for the message for this month for everyone. All right, so I already meditated on this and I pulled the cards. The first card that came out for the month was the Four of Orbs. And in this deck, the Four of Orbs is the Four of Swords. Now the number four can be about structure. But in this case, with it being the Four of Swords, and you can kind of see that reflected in the imagery of the card, the 4 can be about restriction and limitation too. Sometimes if we put ourselves into a box, we're restricting ourselves. And in this case, it's a restriction of our thinking, a restriction of our ideas, a restriction of our communications. All of those things would be ruled by the orbs or the sword suit. And you can see, again, this person is sitting on the beach or on the edge of the ocean in meditation. You know, from the back it looks like the Buddha, but you can see up here there's all these kind of dark clouds. And you can see 3 orbs above this person's head, but there's 1 orb that's down here at almost the base chakra. So again, it's like almost not having all of the faculties, not having all of the thoughts that are needed. You know, we're sitting on something here, you know, and we're not being able to see it. It's on the back side of this person, they're sitting on it, and it's in the water too. So when you take the thoughts, the thought realm or the mental realm, and you kind of combine it with the emotional realm, things get a little bit soggy, so to speak. But again, the Four of Swords is often about, again, restriction or limitations in thinking. We're not allowing ourselves to see or think or believe or understand the full potential of something. You know, we're sitting in that box, we're restricting ourselves. And there's a need to kind of open up. So understand that in this month of May, this Tower card month, you know, there's going to be changes and redirections happening. And we need to open ourselves to a higher understanding, whereas this person, again, is kind of in a lower ego mind state. You know, and again, not seeing things clearly. They can't see through these dark clouds here. Let's take a look at the next card and see what follows that. Okay, so now we have another 4 card, but this is the Four of Chalices. The Four of Chalices is the Four of Cups. So again, we have this kind of restrictive 4 energy, this limiting 4 energy, but now it's in the realm of the emotions. Okay, so first it was in the realm of the mental body, now it's in the emotional body. And you can even see the symbology with this woman as well. She's sitting on a rock in the middle of the ocean. And she's got 3 of the cups, which again is about the emotions. 3 of the cups are behind her. She can't even see them. She's not looking at them. She's almost looking upward towards the sky, almost as if she's in despair, or if she's hoping for something, or wanting something that she feels that she's not getting. So here are the 3 cups behind her, and the cups are, you know, this bounty of goodness and blessings, but she's not looking that way. She can't see it. There's 1 cup out here, right here on this other rock, there's a cup, and she's not really even looking at that either, but there is a blessing that is there for the offering if she just looks towards it. Okay, this is kind of what this card is signifying. Instead of putting yourself again in this box or limiting how you're feeling, or feeling depressed or frustrated or emotional in some way, instead look around you and look for that blessing. If she looks just a little bit off to the side here, she's going to see this cup, this blessing. The cup is standing upright, it's full, and even the cups that are behind her are standing upright and full with blessings as well, but she's not turning around. So it's an idea of you know, looking at things from a different perspective and being more positive with our thoughts, and then feeling more positive and looking for the blessings in our life currently, because if we look for the current blessings in our life, that's going to create more blessings, instead of focusing on the feelings and the you know, the thoughts and feelings of restriction and limitation that those 2 cards poise, so to speak. Okay, now usually for those of you that watch my weekly and monthly readings, I usually choose 3 cards, but sometimes a 4th card comes out in the mix somewhere, and that's the case this month. the last card that I pulled, 2 cards came out. So the first of those last cards is the Sage of Flames. Now, the Sage in this deck is actually the Queen in the traditional tarot. So this is the Queen of Fire. The Sage of Flames is the Queen of Fire. This is actually a pretty positive card. But again, it's interesting to me that we were talking about Uranus earlier, and how Uranus is that kind of rebel, and how the Tower card with the lightning bolt and the Tower on fire, there's that kind of fire element, because Uranus is kind of a fiery planet. You know, it's like the lightning bolt. Uranus is the lightning bolt. And here with the Sage of Flames, or the Queen of Fire, we have this fire element going on here. I'm not sure if this is a Shakti. I'm sure some of you out there will know what this image is, but it seems like it's a Shakti image. And she's holding fire in both of her hands. She's got fire here at her root chakra, a kind of a snake of fire going up like Kundalini energy up through her chakras, and then fire up here at her crown chakra as well. The Queen of Fire is creative and confident and inspirational and full of ideas, and has a real leadership potential. Now, when we think of leadership and courage and confidence, we think of masculine energy. But really, this is feminine energy. This is feminine leadership, okay? Which is pretty awesome. The planet needs us to move into that divine feminine energy, if you will. So I want to look at the last card, because we're kind of running out of time. We still need to get to your special messages. The last card that came out was the Higher Self card. This is Major Arcana number 2. In the traditional tarot, it's the Priestess, another feminine energy card. Feminine energy that's strong, confident, inspiring. Okay, the Sage of Flames and the Higher Self, or the Priestess, shows this rise of the divine feminine energy to me. And whatever is radically changing in this month of May, this rise of the divine feminine, the empowering of the divine feminine on the planet taking back their power, I think is what's happening here. Now, it's not going to be all at once. It's going to take some time. This is also about tuning into your higher self and connecting with your higher self as you move forward, to bring forth the information, the intuitions, the guidance that's needed as we move forward throughout this month. Let's go ahead and take a look at your special message card before we run out of time, depending on your stone of choice. Those of you that chose the Selenite Heart, let's give this a little shuffle and see what Archangel energy is coming out for you. Selenite people, sensitivity with Archangel Haniel. It says, you are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. Now, Archangel Haniel is the archangel that helps us with intuitive guidance, our psychic perceptions, our healing abilities. Again, divine feminine archangel here with Archangel Haniel. She's very divine feminine energy, okay? That it's like the priestess energy almost with Haniel, with the inner intuitive psychic perceptions and healing abilities here. Now, this is actually talking about us being much more empathic and much more sensitive to what's going on around us. So you might need to protect yourself with what's happening. Just utilize spiritual protection here. And again, pay attention to your emotions. The emotions have been coming up for this monthly reading. So pay attention and honor your emotions, your feelings, your inner guidance with this card. All right, those of you that chose the Rose Quartz people, feeling like this one here. Courage, perfect, with Archangel Ariel. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. Now, Archangel Ariel, another feminine archangel here, so to speak. Be confident, own your power, merge into your power, be empowered. This is like warrior energy of the divine feminine. So all of you that chose that Rose Quartz, this is your message, to own that confidence within yourself and that feminine warrior energy. For those of you that chose the Clear Quartz double terminated point, life review with Archangel Jeremiah. It says, take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. Okay, so you're needing to kind of reflect on the last month is what I'm getting, the last month of the endings, new beginnings that we've had, the transitions that we've had, and whatever transitions that we're moving into for this month also that's happening. They want you to look at how far you've come, how far you've evolved, the things that have changed in your life, and where you want to go next with your life. So again, kind of take this mental, if you will, or emotional or spiritual inventory and ask Archangel Jeremiah to help you. As you review where you've come from, that's going to help you to move to where you need to go next. Okay? I hope everyone has liked this monthly angel card reading. Thank you so much, everyone. I send you all much love and light and many, many angel blessings. Namaste.